Hello, what you doing?
I don't know, mate.
Oh, she's hilarious. I don't know. What the fuckity fuck do I know?
What do you say?
What the fuck do I know?
What?
A couple of what the fucks.
Welcome, friends and fam, to What the Fuck Do I Know? With your host, Sarah Ford and Nathaniel Rolf. Today we ask, what the fuck do I know?
What?
What the fuck do we know?
What?
And please do tell, what the fuck do you know?
What?
Thank you for joining us as we explore... Wait, what are we exploring?
I don't know.
What are we exploring anyway?
Who knows?
Where are we? What are we? Who are we?
A Dalek.
So here we are again.
Here
This
we
is
are.
technically episode 3 of What the Fuck Do I Know? Of whatever the fuck this is. But yeah, so I do want to any best day ever thoughts? Best day ever energies? Best day ever shares?
Now you've put me on the spot again. It's got to be the weather again. It's beautiful. It's like you go out, there's blue sky, the sun, the birds, like everything is beautiful when it's sunny. And like, you know, it's pretty here because we've got green as well, the grass. So as long as it doesn't stop raining for too long, it will be gorgeous here. Best day ever.
Best day ever. I'm waiting for you to put me on the spot.
My dog just knocked at the door and I was like, shall I let her in or shall I let
There was a
let
lot
her in?
happening there. There was a lot happening in that moment.
She's coming. Hang on. Come on, Mama. Come on.
What's up? What's
Come
up,
on,
dog?
yeah. Come on.
Welcome.
Welcome. Do you need help? No? You okay? Okay. Oh, God. I nearly fell off my stool.
No
yeah.
dogs, marsupials, or humans were harmed in the film or production of this. Whatever this is.
Okay. Have you got any thoughts on your best day ever?
Well, so far today, I've been awake for a couple hours. I'm enjoying my morning beverage. I saw a turkey today out my window. I have turkeys in my hood
Wow.
that wander the hood, and I always love, like, one of the first things, like, there's sometimes I go through periods. It's been a quiet period where I don't see them that often, and I was able to see a turkey right outside my window this morning. I loved it. Best day ever. Best day
Best
ever.
day ever.
And I had my morning beverage. Woot. Loving the human experience chair dance.
Loving the human experience.
Good times, good people, good dogs.
I hope
Good.
you can't hear. There's stuff going on in my room.
That's fine. It's
The cat and the dog are both licking themselves, and it's making a weird noise. Just for so you know.
best day ever. Best day ever. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They are also celebrating their best day ever. So yeah, here we are. We don't know, like we were saying, we don't know what WTF we are here to do today, but we do know how to find out WTF.
Do you want to reel off a few of the things on there so people know a couple of them? What they
Yes,
are?
because in our pilot, if anyone watching looks back at our pilot, I rambled through the whole original list of topics. Some have gone. We've already done some, clearly, and some of those have been taken off. New ones have been added. I've gotten a little less professional with what I've added because now I'm just using Post-its with a Sharpie or Post-its with a pen instead of printing them up in a piece of paper and then cutting. Ooh. Cameraman 3, get your crap together. Would you, Cameraman 3? God, this crew. I mean, they do the best they can, this crew.
Yeah.
I love you, Cameraman 3. I'm sorry. Sorry I snapped at
You
you.
did a great job.
Okay. So now I'm just putting Post-its. That's what the yellow is. So there's some new ones on there. But yeah, some of the ones we've added since the pilot are subjects like reprogramming concept. I think it's easy to change how you think. You only need intention, awareness, and then the better, more empowering thought. And after a while, that is your belief. Discuss. I don't know if I quite read that quite through. Yeah, that's one that got added. Concepts of self-productivity and the pressure we put on ourselves to produce. Especially things that we feel creatively driven to do. There seems to be this pressure to produce. God, I almost want to segue into that right now, but discuss.
No. We'll let the dart choose.
This is a fun one. Moments of shared telepathy with people in our lives, like having the same or very similar thoughts at or very near the same time. Like, you read my mind, or did I just read your mind, or whose mind is it? Discuss. Added discernment, just a single word, discernment. Thought that'd be a fun discussion. Added the word magic. Thought that'd be a fun discussion. Because magic is what I almost want to discuss. We'll see if the discuss chooses to discuss those things.
Who the spirit dart chooses, or what the spirit dart chooses.
Things like tamping down the joy around elements of our lives and things and the world around us due to the not so good feeling memories. Wait, we did that one. Did we do that one? No, we didn't do that one yet. Oh, we did do that one. Oh my God, I'm reading one from the past. I just went through a parallel universe jump or something.
Maybe we did it in a different reality. So I don't remember that one now.
I'm very curious because, evolve is part of my handle on the webs and stuff. Evolution versus de-evolution. Elements like learning language. How helpful is language truly? That's one to discuss. Because, again, every time I read one of these, I want to go to the next sentence.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, the next sentence is a discussion. Okay, but yeah, here we are. Let's find out what will discuss today. Do I want to stand up today? Last week I didn't stand up. I'm going to stand up for this one. Okay. Here we go.
Be professional.
Spirit there, spirit there. Dart of destiny, dart of destiny. Oh, wait. This is very important, though.
You've forgotten the lights.
We need the
Yes. Now, here we are.
xylophone.
Okay.
Spirit. Here we go. Discuss. Oh, dude. Okay, here we go.
Is he changing it? Oh, it's one of yours. Discernment. Okay.
Discernment. What do you mean?
Well,
It's surprising that I came up with one that was a single word.
It's surprising that you hit the one that was the biggest.
Well, I'm going to also share, if for a moment here, that I'm realizing maybe I need to shift, or it would be a wise thing to shift everything around on the board every week. Because
it's okay.
The reason discernment is in the same general area that has been hit recently in the last couple of weeks.
I've got a feeling you're better at darts than you let on.
Darts? What are you talking about?
You almost got the bullseye.
Meaning I really appreciate you noticing how good I am communicating with spirit. There's no darts here. There's no darts. I don't know what you're talking about. So, but
discernment.
Let me take a moment, because discernment. So, oh my God, it's the birds. Part of, honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, part of what helped is like dodging this pause with me is the birds. The birds on your end.
Can you hear my birds?
I hear your birds.
Yeah, they're really loud, aren't they?
It's great. Wow. Thank you, birds, for joining us.
Thank you.
So discernment, it's like quite the walk, discernment. Because I just want to I'll share an experience with you. Are you? Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
almost saying, are you
please.
okay if I start jumping in with an experience
Please,
around
because
discernment?
nothing is springing to my mind.
So, the walk of discernment for me is such an interesting, amazing, fascinating, daily, momentary, from moment to moment experience. Because, like, this practice of everything I share with anyone that I feel like is, because when we're on these, actually not just these social media streams, things that are fed to us constantly, but also in just our regular normal life. There's a lot of you shoulds. There's a lot of this is like like if you are watching this is meant for you. Like there's a lot of, it's the projections that in our field, in our life, in our world that are like, is a constant practice for myself to constantly feel like, okay, so this energy that's coming towards me, this person that's sharing something with me feels like this is meant for me. And then I'm constantly in this phase of like, or this place of like, okay, elements of this may be for me, whatever, but it's a constant practice of what really is for me and what's not for me. And that's a constant paying attention of what comes up, what flows, what shows, and allowing what comes up, what flows, what shows. And it's funny because like there's so many stories. We walk this world of like there's so many stories that are constantly being projected on us, and then we're constantly living and projecting our own stories on the world around us. And to have to constantly choose and filter through what truly is most truest for us to experience and perceive as the experience that we're perceiving from moment to moment. It's constant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when I'm sharing, this is I'll be honest, as someone who's really wanted to share some of my random, I don't know, thoughts, feelings, whatever that I love to share, I constantly keep going back to the best I can possibly do is always share my experience and just trust that whatever my experience and my share of what my experience is will reflect back the mirrors that truly is meant for others. And I prefer not to ever go to a place of you should blah blah blah, or I'm getting a message that you're supposed to blah blah blah. And even in that kind of feeling or sensation, like even when when even like I have gone into the stillness with others, like which is what like we met doing hypnosis with, in a hypnosis group with each other. And even in those spaces, I feel like there's definitely things that come through in the stillness it's like the stillness ain't so always so quiet, right? Sometimes the stillness is there's a lot of communication going on in the stillness. And like, it's oftentimes so easy to feel like, oh, this is so meant for you because I'm noticing, feeling this is meant. This is something that's happening in a context where, say, even like I'm the practitioner, this other person is the receiver, or vice versa. I'm the receiver, and the other person's the practitioner. Whenever someone's in that practitioner role, I really do feel it's, as the receiver or as the participant in that moment, I'm always self-aware, always trying to pay attention and check in with, okay, just because like they're in that practitioner role, what they are sharing with me not always is meant for me. And I have to constantly feel through that, notice through that, be with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I found that often the message is for yourself, being the practitioner, not necessarily like I'm getting a feeling. I feel things rather than hear or see or whatever. I just get a feeling, blah, 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 whatever it is, and then I might say it, and then I think, actually, I don't know, that might have been for me, that might have been something for me. Because I've noticed recently, doing these Instagram things, I'm tending not to say, I'm getting a message from, I think I get messages from Merlin, and then I'll say these things, or whoever it is, whoever, spirit, and I'll say, he is saying blah, 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 blah. And I've kind of stopped doing that now. And I say something different, rather like, I found that when blah, 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 I find if I go out and walk in amongst the trees, I get messages. Like, I don't say, you should go out in amongst the trees and get messages. Like I get messages from spirit when I'm walking around, when I'm in my car or whatever. I've stopped doing that. You should, or you ought to, or maybe you should, because yeah, like you say, it's like a projection, isn't it? Like we all tend to do that, but I have definitely done that. And using discernment, like when I first came on Instagram, I like had all these messages from these people. Oh, hi, grand risings. I have a message from spirit, and I'm like, oh my God, fantastic. Yes, tell me. And then, yes, give me $30 and I will tell you. And I'm like, oh. And then, it took me a little while to go a bit slow. It took me a little while to figure, hang on a minute. These people are this isn't. So the more you check in with yourself and have the stillness, I found, the more that you can feel what is for you. And actually when you get really, when you do it a lot, when you practice it a lot, it's easy, isn't it? Because you kind of just know, not having that. No, that isn't a message for me. Like I did it the other day. Something came up and they said something to me and I was like, that isn't my shit. That's your shit. I didn't say that, but I just thought, I'm just going to keep that inside, but that isn't for me. Goodbye.
Yeah. Like, I'll share a personal experience that I did even explored recently. Well, first of all, I feel it especially on these social medias when you start playing and when the algorithms start to notice what you're tapping on and paying attention to, and they start sending the grand rising, your ancestors have
yes.
I have a very important message from your ancestors. And I've noticed something about a lot of those is if I notice any of those messages that is kind of twisting and like almost like poking at a fear, if it's like energized or poking at a potential fear that I may have about myself, and I notice that they're trying to poke at maybe even one of my internal fears, I'm like, all right, that to me is a point of manipulation.
Yeah.
Because like say things like your ancestors have a very important message, like you are not that you will not be able to move forward in your life unless you do this certain clearing and blah blah blah. It's very important you contact me and we work with this and work with your ancestors to do this so that you can blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Or
you are helping all your lineage as well. It's not just you're helping, it's all your lineage.
Yeah. Which actually I do feel that anything we do for ourselves surely does help, say, all of our lineage or all of those in our family around us, all of those in our world and our friends around us, our workplace around us. Anything we do for ourselves that truly is foundationally supportive of our worthy, that noticing being with our worthy, noticing our worthy and living from that place of we are worthy. We are definitely so amazingly, beautifully worthy. The less those fears even start to get through. And anyone that's trying to draw money from me by poking at those fear buttons, I'm like, all right, no.
That's the key. I think I notice it when they are trying to place a fearful thought in you. When that's when I'm like, nah, because where I'm standing, everything comes from how I feel and how I feel good. That's when I know I should do something. If it feels good to me, if it makes me excited, if I'm like getting up in the morning and I'm thinking, yes, I must get on to this podcast with Nathaniel. And, I know it's good. It's what I'm supposed to be doing, and like not you better do this now or else something disastrous is going to happen and you'll regret it for the rest of your life. Like, no, thank you. That's not for me.
Mm-hmm. On another note on that, though, even like an interpersonal, like moments that, this is where I was going to go. First, I've this is where my mind starts to jump in multiple stories I want to share, but I don't honestly do, there was a period of my life I did do tarot. I would check in with tarot people here and there, and I more and more because anyone that's in a practitioner type role, I'm very conscious and very aware of everything they share is filtered through their experience of their lives and where their energy is and where they are, even just where they are that day, from where they are that moment, how they're feeling, what they're processing, what they're going through. So there's this that's another part of the discernment of if I'm going to work with someone who I trust, I'm like, I'd really like to just kind of share the mirror, One of my someone in my life shares the phrase "sacred mirror" a lot, and I love that phrase "sacred mirror." It's like, yeah, there's a sacred. All of this is a sacred experience, as far as I'm concerned. It's all spiritual. It's all sacred, but have that conscious agreement with another person that, let's share a sacred mirror with each other. I love that sacred mirror phrase, where we both are aware that what we're sharing is, like, say someone just really wants to share whatever. So anyway, I'm going back to this. I don't really do tarot stuff anymore, but I recently did do. I was like, there's this, but sometimes I'll pop into like some of these things where people do tarot readings, just because if I enjoy or feel really a foundational healthy, what feels healthy to me anyway, energy that doesn't feel. If I find anyone that's doing what they do in these spiritual spaces, be it tarot, be it Reiki, be it, I don't know, any of these fun things that we do. If I feel a really good energy from them, I'll just listen sometimes. But even in that listening, I'm in this constant like, okay, what really, if any of this, even though if I'm not getting, say, a reading from them, they're just giving it to someone else on this group thing. There's things, because if I notice something that either rings a bell or touches a little nerve or any of that stuff, that's like, well, anything that activates any of that within me is for me to allow and notice and be with. But I did actually, one recently, ask a question. And it wasn't really even a question. It was more just I shared a sentence that was coming to my life a lot at that point. And shared, this is a message I keep on noticing or feeling in multiple places in my life. Is there anything that brings up with them? Feeling that what this sentence is for me is what it is for me, but also just kind of looking to explore the energy of the statement. And to be honest, the statement was "track mud on the carpet," right? It was from that Bob Dylan movie. And I just wanted to experience an additional mirror projection experience to kind of explore that energy more in this space that I really do have a lot of appreciation for the people in this space. There's no poking at people's fears. There's very gracious support of anyone that is there in a very beautiful way that I really do appreciate. So I'm like, I trust these two people. I'm just going to explore this with them. And, and honestly, there's two people that responded. Love them both very dearly. One of them shared a response that just did not. I was like, wow, that doesn't track at all. Like, there's something about it that I was like, the energy or feel of it didn't feel right to me at all. But there were other statements in their share and response that was like, well, that's a good question. That's a good, interesting. I should turn my ringer off. That's a good, interesting. There's like little dings. I was like, that's a ding that I do want to explore. I'm going to notice that ding, but noticing that also the general energy of what was coming through didn't feel right. So I trusted that feeling, but that didn't discount what they were sharing, because there were still points in what they were sharing that brought some dings. I'm like, okay, I am going to pay attention to that ding, or pay attention to this. And then the other person shared some card readings that honestly was like, oh, that's amazing. And a lot of it was very positive, but I was also went into this like, is it just good because it's very positive? Is that because honestly the one that I was like not so dinging wasn't so positive, but I did also like go into this like, well, just because it's not positive doesn't mean it's not something that's worthwhile to pay attention to. But noticing that noticing the things that didn't feel so positive, none of it didn't. If it flows into that fear place, then I'm like, oh, okay, let's notice and pay attention to because they're bringing up a fear.
Yeah.
But a lot of it really, most of it really didn't. But some of it, with the person who kind of had the not so positive feeling message, did bring up some fear moments. So I was like, okay, that's what I'm going to pay attention to, because that's what I'm consciously kind of at this point playing with or being with. But no, really feeling that. But then another person had a reading after me that felt more like a lot of what the previous message that didn't feel so good to me felt more for that. So it's interesting to kind of see how these energies, when you're in these groups that are kind of exploring and being with these energies, flow. Because I do feel like it becomes like a melting pot, mixing energy place where we're just all there sharing this moment of these energies and this experience with each other. And all of there's elements of all of it that's helpful for anyone that's there, is how I feel.
Absolutely.
But when it was specifically directed at me, it became more of a bigger responsibility for myself to be like, okay, what feels right, what doesn't feel right. And what feels right didn't discount the quality of the information because it still felt important in the context. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. And it's like you say, using your discernment, isn't it? You know, like I've been to see lots of tarot. I live in Glastonbury, so I've seen a lot of tarot readers, and one particularly when my marriage broke down, and my first marriage broke down, she told me that he was cheating on me. And then I did my detective work, and he was, and he had no clue how I knew, and I even knew where he was, who it was with, blah blah blah, and she was amazing, and she would always come up with some really good, helpful stuff, you know, not just like, oh, the tower shit, blah, blah, blah. She would come up with, like, you know, there are some really good ones online that I watch as well that come up with some really amazing, even if it wasn't, so a lot of them do for your star sign, sun sign, we call it star sign here. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. But then he will talk as a man, and he will talk some more stuff. And I think, actually, that's really interesting that he said that. Like, it doesn't really fit, but I like how he said this is useful, because he uses the sun, he uses all the planets and all of it, and, you know, this is happening, blah blah blah. And I thought, God, that's quite interesting. I love watching him because he's very charismatic, and, you know, I really like watching him. But then, you know, I listened to another lady, and as soon as she'll say, if this is for you, listen. If it's not for you, just scroll along. So, like, as soon as she comes on and she's like, the tower, all this other stuff, like, blah, 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 I'm like, no, that's not for me. So I don't know whether I'm looking through my rose-coloured spectacles again, but no, I don't think so. Like, I can feel it's not for me, it's not for me. Sorry, I'm a bit snuffly. I've had a cold this week.
No worries.
I can't breathe. But yeah, this using your discernment, and it is something that you grow into, isn't it? I feel like initially when I was on my spiritual journey way back when, if I heard something remotely spiritual, or I would be on it, I would be listening to all the things, and I actually can't even listen to those spiritual podcasts anymore. I don't know what it is. I just can't listen to them. I don't know why that is. Maybe I've got some more, I don't know, cool stuff in my head that I don't need to hear that stuff anymore. I don't know. Like, I don't know. But yeah, discernment. What else can we talk about discernment?
Well, I'm kind of curious, because this makes me question, because I'm also one who's conscious, very kind of like, I used to get super concerned about, okay, first of all, I'm a big fan of sovereignty, autonomy for everyone. And always trying is the wrong word. Do or do not, there is no try. Yoda said. And I do, from my own place, always do any share I do with others, basically ask them, choose, please consciously filter out what doesn't feel right for you, and only filter in, allow in what does feel right for you. In part because I'm very consciously aware of a lot of the manipulation that happens around, especially the fear poking at the fears. That tends to happen, that there are energies, people who are just in that searching for themselves place. I feel like I lived a good portion of my life in that searching for myself place. Yeah. And there is this point when I think I have definitely felt moments of when I'm in that searching, just really searching for myself place, there seems to be this more potential to go down those roads and allow those paths and flow with those paths that activate the fear, or bend the will, that are more likely to bend the will of like I love questions, but sometimes it's possible to go so deep into our own questions that I have allowed at some points in my life my questions to go so far, or like my discernment to run my questions to like let go of my discernment, because I'm so focused on the questions around myself that I let others I have let others bend my will, because it felt comfy. Like like, oh, well, this person knows, this person has something that's really important for me, because they tell me it's important for me, and they tell me they know such and such about me. So it feels so nice and comfy to have them just tell me what is for me, when especially in that searching type energy. So, but that was a beautiful part of the walk to learn discernment for me as well. So it's like, I can't, like, I'm not going to hate on that part of myself that went through that experience. It was a beautiful part of my experience. But at the same time, I feel like now that I'm at this different part of my experience, or like that searching where I allowed the bending of my will and the lessening of my sovereignty, my autonomy as to within my own being of my existence, or my participation of my own participation with my being my being. It's a fun sentence. Not to hate on even the searching modes that I was in, where my discernment. I have no judgments on those periods.
Yeah, you kind of have to go through those. You have to go through those things, don't you, and learn yourself. People can't tell you. You can't teach this, can you? You just have to kind of. I don't think it's a thing. You feel it. You know it.
Yeah.
You kind of do have to go down these rabbit holes and do stuff and not have your boundaries set or even know what your boundaries are initially, and then
true.
Then you come out. Then you do a lot of soul searching and all the rest of it, and then you kind of like, well, that was bull crap what they were saying to me back then.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have this realization, don't you? And like you say, it's all good. It is all good, really. It is teaching and getting closer to yourself. You don't
so much learning.
Yeah, you don't know who you are until you know what you've discovered what you're not. I don't know what that means. I don't know what I'm talking now, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Oh, sorry, Marnie.
You know what you don't know. It feels like you know what you.
I don't know what the
and you
fuck
don't know.
do we know?
Right? But here's okay. I can't help it then to go down another path of the discernment. This is my other story that I was almost about to jump into earlier. That then there's the interpersonal experience of, say, even just people in our lives, friendship world of discernment, where I'm always, as I'm going into shares with others that I feel may be sensitive, I'm always saying, like I am always saying, like this I do feel like this may be a sensitive share type thing that I'm feeling nudged to share with you. Please use your discernment in context of this, and how there's been some times, even quite fairly recently, that has resulted in the ending of the friendship. And I'm going to share one with you, where I shared something with someone, a friendship, that it's like it was one of those things where I feel like this might be a sensitive subject to bring up, but I'm feeling the nudge to bring it up, so I'm going to follow through with my nudge, trusting that nudge, and also trusting the result of that nudge, and sharing with them in the context of the share. Please use your discernment in the sharing of my nudge with you. And then their choice is, I'm not talking to you anymore. And I actually, I've noticed it's a really beautiful practice, because I feel like in past versions of myself, past experiences of myself, I do get very attached to friendship sometimes, or I've lived that story, lived that part of me that gets, like, the act of loving others has also included this major attachment energy around, like, oh, I totally love and appreciate you. I'm so attached to you as being my friend. I'm going to do anything to maintain and keep that friendship.
Yeah. And
keeping that friendship meant, a different thing than it does to me now. Like, at that point, it meant, like, navigating through, like, even, staying in some of the guilt, or staying in some of the, oh my God, I'm so sorry. What did I say that was wrong? What did I say that was wrong that made you feel hurt? Like, again, because it's not my hurt, but I would go into this place of, like, oh my God, I feel hurt that I hurt you, but I don't feel that's actually supportive to those that I'm going into a new place. I'm shifting into a new place where, in those interpersonal places where someone's like, oh, your share, like, I can't talk to you anymore. I'm now in this new place where, like, I just appreciate and love that they did make that choice for themselves, because now I really want to do anything I can to support and love others' autonomy, others' sovereignty. And for someone to make that choice for themselves, even in context of my connection with them, is exciting to me, because I'm like, yes, now that person, like, I feel true and real with my share with said person, and they made a choice that was, like, so perfect for them, that I'm, like, actually excited, that I'm like, like, oh, that friendship's no longer in my field, but it's so perfect that friendship's no longer in my life.
It's
or my
perfect. Yeah. And this, it does, you do find that, don't you, once you start speaking your truth. And even if it does, sometimes it does upset, because, like you say, this is what I've been doing. People have been whinging and moaning at me, and then I've tend to, like, oh, it'd be okay, or agree with the whinging a little bit, oh, life's so unfair, when I'm not really feeling that. But now I don't do it, and I've noticed I don't get any communication anymore because I'm not supplying their need for me to tap them on the head and, you know, it'll be all right. And it will be all right. Everything will be all right, but I don't want to lower myself or, you know, be who I'm not anymore, because I'm different now. Like you said, you're different. And, yeah, I've noticed it now. Like I've only got a few people that will talk, and only when they're in need, kind of thing. Yeah. And then obviously I'm like, it'll be fine, or I won't be so forthcoming with what they want to hear. I'll just say my truth, which isn't mean. It's just how I feel. Like, I would never say anything mean. It's just how I feel. Well, everything will be fine. It's perfect. Everything's happening. Fine timing, blah, blah, blah. But they don't want to hear that. They want to hear the life is shit and it's unfair, and I've been in the past, things have happened and it's all because of this, woe is me. Even at my work now, people are like that, and I'm like, yeah, I just notice it. I don't tend to say it because they wouldn't understand. I don't know, I like to just ignore it, kind of thing, at work, because it's different. They're not really my friends, they're more my colleagues, you know what I mean? They're not like my friends' so I would just say, I would try and put my positive spin on it, or not even my positive spin, just what I feel, what I think. And they can take it whichever way they choose, I guess. But
right.
Yeah, it is all kind of perfect. And it's lovely coming to how I am now, realising that it's okay to feel how I feel. I don't have to agree with everyone. I don't have to agree with everyone. I just have to agree with myself.
Right.
You know?
And it's a constant, I guess.
It is.
For me, is my experience of what you just said, is that's a constant check myself place.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Because you can get drawn into it very easily, whatever their agenda. Can't you? Really easily.
Right.
I can. I've always said I'm easily led.
And it's not these other agendas, because it is an agenda. It's an agenda to, like, I'm in the suck, and it would feel so nice if someone else would join me in the suck.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That's what, like, when a lot of times when I've lived in the suck, it feels so, like, comfy when someone else is like, oh yeah, I feel you. I feel you in that suck. Like, it just sucks. Totally sucks to suck. And let's just experience the sucky suck shit together.
Yeah.
And it feels comfy. There's a comfortable energy of that.
Mm.
And, like, I'm with you in this context of coming, like, for me, like, my experience of really being my more positive, because I am at the core a very positive person. I've always been that, but I've been someone who's also, like, bended to the will of others in the context of, oh yeah, they feel that it sucks, and I can see how they feel it sucks, and I compassionately empathize with how they feel it sucks. But in those moments, more and more, it's a challenge to stick with the challenge that I'm at now, that you just described, is very similar around when someone's expressing this is shit, this is sucky shit. Like, okay, I see your sucky shit. I don't feel your sucky shit. How do I communicate with you in context of this, in exchange with each other, that stays true to myself, but also allows you to be where you're at, right? Because especially in work context, it's still common where there's like, oh man, it's like, I'm actually gonna read some of this is actually one of the discussed subjects, the other discussed subjects, the words we use about ourselves and observing our self-limiting beliefs about ourselves. Examples like, just my luck, or that's how it goes, it never fails. Then for my discernment in my moment of myself, in that moment, is I have to discern for myself how I'm going to participate in this conversation of how it never fails, or just my luck, or that's how it goes. But what's fun about those words that I've learned is, for them, I can feel what the words never fails means to them. To them, the words never fails means it never fails to fail, basically, right? But when I hear the words never fails, what I've done for myself, I've learned to do for myself, is just stop, edit, delete the sentences into, it never fails. Holy shit. Nothing ever fails. Yeah. How amazing is that? Like, nothing ever fails. Truly, it is impossible for anything to ever fail, because everything actually always is as it is, what it is, as we be with or be what it is, in our experience of what it is be, or how that all those words.
Yeah.
But like, it truly never fails because it's all freaking perfect.
Yeah.
Always. I really do feel like it's all perfectly being what it's being because that's perfectly what's meant to be as it be.
Yeah.
So, yeah, someone can say it never fails, like this totally sucks, but I can flip that in my own field and be like, yeah, you know what? It truly does never fail.
It's almost, this is how it feels to me sometimes. It's almost like those old Tom and Jerry cartoons, and you've got the angel and then you've got the devil on your shoulder. And then I hear something, oh, it never fails. And then I have straight away in this ear, it's always this ear as well, I'll have, yeah, you can never fail. It's perfect. Like, and it's taken time for me to get like this, but I can almost do it straight away. Like, I'll have I don't know, something will happen that's not quite my liking, and I'll have the momentarily like, oh, you're crap, or whatever, and then straight away, boom, in this ear, you're perfect and you're fantastic. Straight away it happens for me now. It's great.
Man.
Yeah.
Right in that context, is that it's because that is a functional use of discernment, isn't it? That we are functionally putting discernment in practice. Is discernment just a series of choices we make for ourselves that feel best for us from moment to moment as we make these choices?
You're so clever.
I don't know. What is discernment? Here we've talked about discernment already for like 40 minutes or something, and I'm like, wait. What is discernment?
What does it even mean?
Okay, so I'm going to take a quick. I can't help myself now. Now that we've already talked about the word, I actually have 4 dictionaries sitting next to me here. I'm just going to read one of them. What this one says: discernment, DISC. How do I use the alphabet?
Oh my God, you've got an actual book. Wow.
Discernment. How do I spell the word discernment? DISCER?
Yeah.
CEABCD. I hope there's not licensing for that song because I just sang it. Okay. Discern. Distinguish, note, discover. Discriminate, see through intelligence. Discernible, perceivable. So discernible has like perceivable, adjectives are perceivable, discoverable, observable. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like that. So yeah, it's like a constant practice of us perceiving ourselves in context of what we're perceiving.
That is really cool.
That is, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Oh. Amen.
Fantastic.
On that note, we interrupt this program for very important breaking news. Over to you, Sarah.
Thank you for that, Nathaniel. Yes, we've got very important breaking news for you today. It has been officially declared by a group of very scientific, serious scientists from the prestigious University of You Have Totally Got This, that all humans are, brace yourselves, spiritual beings. Yes, not just the ones who wear floaty pants and smell faintly of patchouli. All of us, even your Uncle Bob, who still thinks chakras are a brand of curry powder. So what does that mean for you, dear viewer? Well, next time you burn your toast, cry at a car commercial, or feel strangely emotional while staring at the moon, you're not losing it, you're awakening. Or perhaps you are losing it, and that's part of the awakening. And that tingling sensation, that's either divine energy or the 4 shots of espresso you've just slammed. You're not just a person barely making it through Monday. You are a radiant, multidimensional soul currently learning important life lessons through your student loans, awkward Zoom calls, and a deeply emotional connection to your pets. Meanwhile, spiritual teachers across the country are thrilled. Yoga studios are packed, crystals are selling out, and somewhere in Oregon, a goat named Zeke has been appointed spiritual advisor to a small commune that communicates exclusively through interpretive dance and essential oils. Whoa! Stay grounded, guys. Stay hydrated. And remember, You are Stardust. With taxes. Over to you, Nathaniel.
Whew. Wow. Thank you for that very, very important message, Sarah. And now, a message brought to you by you scrolling and clicking to whatever brought you right here. If you are watching this message, then it is definitely meant for you. And now is your opportunity to check in with yourself and choose for you whether any of this very important message that is definitely meant for you is truly for you or not. And even if you determine that this definitely for you message truly isn't for you, it becomes meant for you as you choose to discern for yourself that this message that is definitely meant for you truly isn't for you. This moment of practicing your incredible sovereign discernment is always truly meant for you. Over to you, Sarah.
Wow, Nathaniel has left me feeling slightly confused, but in awe. Oh, one moment. We have got a report from Suzie. She's out there in the field somewhere. Are you there, Suzie?
I discern within myself that I am perceiving possibly no more flow for me on this subject, unless you have more shares you'd like to share.
No.
That I may perceive or discern flow to show itself.
No.
If it does.
No, it's flowed and now it's standing still. And I feel like it has come to a complete ending on the discernment.
Can I just take a moment? This is weird. I know we don't usually do that, but I feel called or feel this nudge to just kind of take a moment and just kind of share the feel of trust and the energy of the trust of discernment for anyone, for ourselves, for me, myself, and anyone that's listening. Just kind of allowing and being with the trust of our discernment from day to day, from moment to moment, with just a moment, feeling that. I am the only one that perceives what I perceive as I perceive it, and just trusting all I discern. Yeah, that feels nice.
I really wanted to do my ginormous fart noise then.
Oh, that's... Well, did you take a moment to discern within yourself?
I discerned.
And what was your choice in context?
I thought it might ruin the moment.
Oh. And I'm discerning within myself that would have been freaking awesome. So, bring it.
Okay.
Bring the thoughts. You notice how I'm saying thoughts? I'm trying to say thoughts instead of farts with the hard R. Bring the thoughts. I discern it. Bring the thoughts. Yeah. But again, I'd like to share anybody that enjoys these conversations, or even if you don't enjoy the conversations, I discern that anyone who wants to throw a topic or add a topic to the board, please comment below or comment where the comments are on whatever screen you're looking at this on.
Yeah.
And
or if you want to join us.
Or if you want to join us for a chat. And
yeah.
Trust the dart, trust the spirit, trust the dart of destiny and spirit, and have a chat around any topics. And please share any topics you may be interested in chatting.
Yeah.
And thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And best day ever, continue. Best day ever, continue. Okay. What? Loving the human experience, chair dance.
Loving the human experience.
The people, they laugh in their knives. Yes, they say it's crazy. World out there, so let's go out and play miracles. And that's the we are basically beloved and stranger. Music I and the ones I live in and delusions on superiority. The choice stops him who says when the dreams play on. Said the choice stops him who says when the